You've been working for a little bit this morning. I'll go ahead and introduce myself to those of you that I haven't had a chance to visit with yet. I'm John Karriman. I'm a tactical specialist for the state of Missouri. I've been involved with martial arts since I was a little boy. I've been working the street when I turned 21, so what I went to college to do. Anyway, my background is in all things that have to do with the use of force, control issues, weapon retention, disarms, things of that nature. And anyway, had an opportunity to put my time in on the street and understood that I could be more value as an instructor than as a beat cop. So this is what I've devoted the majority of my adult life to, with distracting techniques to be able to close with the person. Now we'll talk about once we've gotten up close to the person, what we can do, what we probably should do. Chuck, if I can humor me for a second. I've closed with the person. They've swung their weapon around from one individual or group to another. He's going to swing it back on me. I want to go ahead and jam him up. I'm going to take note of where that barrel is. Of course, I don't want to be sweeping my body with it if at all possible. As a general rule in weapon disarm techniques, if the weapon is on one side of your body, you want to keep it on that side of your body. You don't want to try to pass it across to the other side. When you've got a swarm technique, as we'll be attempting, sometimes you don't always get what you want, in the immortal words of Mick Jagger. But I would like to keep this weapon from passing my body. So once I've stopped it in, he's got this either shouldered or he's got it under his armpit and he's got it locked in tight. In any event, if you'll look at his grip, this is where I want to go. If I take this down and it goes off, most times indoors it's going to ricochet off of cement, tile, and it's going to go into somebody else. So I'm going to get this up and into his body as quickly as possible and follow it up with strikes. And hopefully the rest of my team will assist me in that. So once I force this to the inside, I can sweep him to the shin and get his attention. I can force this weapon up out of his grip and then draw it down and into his neck and his face and strike with knees and use the object as it was intended. We don't want to be swinging. Objects will break. You end up with a barrel towards you. If you do wrest control of it, it'll be used like a stick or like a sword, and it'll be used for poking. It's not going to be swung like a baseball bat. It's going to be used for poking. We can press, strike into soft tissue, but we're going to be striking with this. Step back and find out if it works. All right. This time, we're going to switch it over to the other side of your body. If I find myself over on the other side of his body, when I've got to deal with him, I'm going to go ahead and tie this up. Once again, instead of trying to force it down, I'm going to take this up, keeping portions of my body out from in front of this. So as I pull up, I push down simultaneously, drop him down, follow up with strikes. And once again, we end up with the weapon. Now, I'm going to enlist the aid of a couple of y'all here. We're going to go ahead and put a little swarm action on him. I'm going to lay this down for a second. Ideally, let me borrow from that, Chuck. Go ahead and come up the other side of his body. Ideally, after I've closed with him, I'm going to go ahead and lock him up. I'm going to stand on his feet, and then I'm going to go ahead and rock him forward and get his body started forward, and we're going to get him down onto his stomach. So, anyway, bring your hands up. We're going to go ahead and pass these in and capture. Everybody's happy so far. I'm going to reach in and lock on this. I'm going to stand on him and simply just move him forward. Get him down onto his face. Now, I can take and get across the back of his arms after I've got him on the ground, press into his body, press his head down, and pressure down on the tricep makes it difficult for him to get his his waist up off the ground. If I simply controlled his head, he could, as we say, shrimp up and get his waist up and then roll to a shoulder and make himself comfortable. With me applying pressure down with my knee and pressure up, I can actually make him tap here because his arm is breaking.
Basically,
you're holding the other arm, keeping him from tapping. But anyway, it wasn't very nice, was it?
Tapping your foot,
But anyway, I call this cactus people. I'm going to drive down across his tricep, and I'm going to lift up and make him tap. But anyway, hop in here. I want you to feel this.
I think that was you.
I know it was.
Come around, stop. You're simply going to press into his tricep and grab his arm. And since his arms are going to be tied up, I just want you to say, that's probably good.
okay. So that's like a reverse Americana.
Press in with your knee, grab his hand with both, his wrist with both hands, press down with your knee and lift up. Lift up at the wrist. Slowly lift up. Slowly lift up.
Put your knee into the
Put
shoulder.
your knee down on him. Pressure down and pressure
Yeah,
up sometimes. Now lift up at the wrist while you're pressing down at the knee.
With his hand up.
Pressure down and pressure up simultaneously. That's good. Another thing, stay down, Chuck. Another thing we're going to talk about is my safety. Being back here, as a general rule, being around a person's feet is the last place I really want to be. With his foot turned out, I can stand on this. He can't roll left. He can't roll right. I'm being nice, being on the sole of his shoe. I would not be there. I'd be putting crushing pressure on his ankle bone. Go ahead and go somewhere. I can make him tap from here. This is just very, very uncomfortable. Now, if his foot is not in that configuration, I simply step on it and put it in that configuration. I can make him tap. Does that make sense? Okay. So we got people can control high, people can control low. If you attempt to do this by yourself, you're going to end up having them still open and capable of causing harm. So you got to work as a team. We've talked about the mindset. I can survive, I must survive, I will survive. And we've talked about distracting techniques, throwing objects at their face, close distance with them. Talked about how the courts view a use of force situation. It's one of those sad situations that help is not there. Help perhaps may be on the way. We've discussed this before. You have people inside. The people that have been injured aren't going to get help until the building has been secured. So it's up to the individuals inside to take care of business. So, anybody else want to come up and try one of the control techniques? Let's change his arm posture a little bit and say that his arm is straight out. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. I can drop across, still drop across his shoulder completely here. The further he moves his hands in front of him, the easier it is for him to roll to his side. So I can take this and force it back once again, and now I'm using my shin bone instead of my knee to accomplish the same thing. So if I was to kneel out at a distance, you can see that there's plenty of space under there, but when I come across their tricep completely over here, I'm already starting to cause pain, and before his forearm is even up off the mat, I'm causing pain and degradation. If his arm is out and I've not had the opportunity to crawl up on top of it with a knee, I can simply use my body, fall into him here and lift up. If this is turned over palm up, you can see his body can turn and he can get to my face. So I want his thumb turned towards the rear. I've got his tricep locked out now with my armpit, and pressure up on the outside gets them to submit. And we can bring this in deeper. We can trap it with our body, make them tap, and I still have my elbows for some good clean fun.
If they've got their arms underneath?
If he's got his arms underneath, the person on the side away doesn't know if he rolls, if he's going to come out with an object. So I'm going to straddle his waist, I'm going to pin his head, and I'm going to dig in and give them verbal commands. Get your hands out, get your hands out, get your hands out. And then I'm going to go ahead and transition over to where I need to be to cause pain and degradation. Does that make sense to you? All right. I've been abusing the Chuck here a little bit. Go ahead and
He's
hop
gonna feel
up.
it.
Come on up, Dan. And let you feel some of this good fun. Go ahead and lay down there on your belly. Would one of y'all want to try to come up and try this technique from the outside? Now you're using your armpit. You're pulling and lifting up. Sit thumb to the rear. Press it down with your armpit. You're lifting up and heel tap. Keep pulling up. There it is, right there. That was it. You're a natural. Get it, Chuck. Both hands, put both palms on the. There you go, and you got better control of it. The other thing I'd like for you to do is get your body more around to the front instead of being on the same plane with him with your body. So I'd like for you to get your body around here more to the front. Go ahead. There it is. Walk it up towards his shoulder. We talk about a phrase, we say forward of the plane of the shoulders, and that's where I want you to get his arms off.
Yeah, I know.
That's the idea.
That's an editing.
Yeah.
As long as it's the frame, we're good. Go.
Okay.
I'll try his other arm.
Yeah.
I don't want him to feel uneasy.
Feel neglected.
Right. It would be terrible.
See the thumb in the rear, walk your body around to the front. Press down the arm here. There it was. There it was.
Sure.
When their arm is back, it's too easy for him to roll to his side here. If a person does, if they do roll, he rolls into you here, he rolls into you here, he rolls into you here. We go ahead and trap this, okay, and pull him into me. Now I've got both arms trapped under him, and I'm not going to just leave this leg here lightly. So I'm going to pop a wheelie here. We'll toss it up over and bring it back into his throat, and now I've got control of his body and his limb. From the wrestling world, people understand bringing this up, lifting and twisting, and I'm also getting a choke as well on the carotid sinus. But anyway, stay down, hands back towards. I'm going to try it. Just kneel down beside him. When he goes to roll into you, you have anything you want to get out of there? Just kneel beside him, outside of his arm or even inside of it, wouldn't matter. Here's another thing I want us to consider is, I say inside knee is always down. So that means that outside leg is always up. Outside leg is is rarely ever down. What this does when your inside knee is up and your outside knee is down, you're being pushed away from the activity. I want your gravity working for you. So if you need to, your outside leg will even be up. There we go. So subject's down and they roll into you. You simply trap it with both hands. That's it. Lean back a little bit and try to throw your foot over the top of his neck without busting his face. Bring it back into his throat slowly. That's it. And we can control them until we get some more warm bodies on them. We talked about bringing a person to the ground. Let's talk about some other things we can add to that. Go ahead and come to your feet. We talked about keeping the weapon on one side or the other of the body. I had taken the weapon up before. This time I'm going to end up taking it down just to strip it away. What I want to do is get it pointed back towards them as soon as possible. What I don't want to do is sweep this across my body. So if he's coming back over this direction, I don't want to pass it over here. 80% of the time when we try to pass a weapon from one side to the other, we got hit with ammunitions, airsoft, paintball guns. When you're up close, it doesn't feel very good. So it's something to remember. So the person has created their havoc in one direction. They're trying to spin it back around on you. I'm going to stop this. I can take this hand down and this up into his face. And I'll continue it up until his face till I make contact, and then I'll strip it down, and then this is mine again. Does everybody have any questions about that? One more time. From this side of the body, they sweep it around. I'm going to check this. I'm going to pop this down and this up. I'm going to give him a little kiss, strip this down, and get this on task. You'll notice I didn't stay in here. I created distance, and I created distance in increments, like a wedding march. I don't want to be moving backwards, taking steps. I want to cheat it. When I take steps, I trip. I can trip over a crack. I trip over something as small as this. So I'm going to find it with my foot and slide back, but I am going to create distance. That's what allowed me to take this in the first place, was the fact that I was able to get up close. From a distance, I can't take that away from it. I've got to get up here and put hands on. So we strip the weapon. For whatever reason, it's not functioning. Perhaps he knew that at the time. Perhaps it malfunctioned during the course of events. But I can still use it to strike with and to strike with, attacking soft tissue. Let's talk about another takedown. And come back up. We can take him high and low. As a general rule, this is not really very good control, but we're going to cheat this a little bit. I can either grab flesh on the inside of his arm, or I can grab and wad his material up and force this down into his tricep. And as you can see, as how his body's reacting, that's not very comfortable. So I can take and drive that down and take him all the way down to the ground. Once I've started him down, let's move around this way. It'll be nice and keep him on the mat since we do have it here. So we take that and we drag, and once again we walk him out here and drive this down. Once again, pressure up, pressure down, and go ahead and verbally respond. That's probably good. That's probably good. All right. Get him turned here a little bit. We'll do it from a little different angle here. How you holding up? Good answer. Go ahead and come up this direction. Good. So we've got them high, we've got them low. I grab their material if they have any. I wad it up and I drive down and simply walk him forward and take him down. I've got it trapped up here. You can bring it down, or you can bring it clear up into your leg. Getting closer to him. That's it. We've got his arms forward to the plane of the shoulders. Okay, let me have him for a second. That's good. With me forward to the plane of the shoulders, I can simply lean here forward a little bit and just make him tap. I've got him locked out. I'll put him.
So that's abuse.
Fire in the sun. You've already Gustavo. Let you be my partner this time, Danny. This time we're going to go ahead and soften up their lower limbs. So after we've closed with them here, whatever leg is back, that is the leg that I'm going to bring forward. I'm going to give him all these lovely little shots into the peroneal nerve. This is attached to your calf muscles, your gastrocs, all the way up into your glove handles, your obliques. So I'm going to strike this on the outside edge of the leg, and the legs are going to want to collapse. I've had people tell me before, "You broke my leg." No, it just feels that way. So if I'm not able to grip up high, this keeps me at a distance. I can always sweep with my instep and blast it with I can have some rubber soles on it, still painful. We can do this barefoot. At a distance, I can strike. When I get in closer, I can throw blows with whatever leg is back. I have no power off my lead leg. That's safe from the front of the pants. I'm going to throw these off the back of the leg and drive and collapse the legs. Having collapsed the legs, can lock this up. Once again, I'll step on him with my inside foot, and he can't lean forward. All he can do is go where I take him. I start him down, drive him down, come to the back of the arm. I move forward up the plane of the shoulders. Got his arm up high, and that's it. And we'll make him say, "That's probably good." That's probably good.